Steve Kerr reveals his future with the Warriors. I know many fans out there, you're all in the comments, you do not want him to be with the Warriors anymore. He needs to play more young players. He doesn't know the schemes. It's time to go. You help us win 4 championships, but move on to the next coach. Well, you're going to find out in this Warriors Digest. It's not happening anytime soon. Randy Silver here. We're going to break down Steve Kerr's new interview and show and tell you why he said that he's not moving forward. But before, please subscribe to Warriors Digest. Every day we have new videos for you. Some days, 2 videos. All the rumors, trades, gossip, and more. You don't want to miss it. Let's get into today's episode. Steve Kerr. Steve Kerr sat down with Raj Matai, the NBC Sports and NBC News anchor for Bay Area, and he said, I think there's definitely a shelf life in every job in sports. For a coach, I think I will feel it when it comes, and I do not feel in this past year in terms it was time to leave. I feel we've got a couple more years here with Steph, Dre, and obviously, hopefully, Clay. The interview was a part of a broader interview he was doing about coaching the Olympics coming up. He's on the team, Steph's on the team. Talk about this in other videos. So, what does that tell you, Steve Kerr fans? What does that tell you, Warrior fans? Maybe you're not a Steve Kerr fan. He's not going anywhere. As we've reported, you all know, he signed a 2-year extension this season, basically giving him $35 million over 2 years. He will be here until 2026. That's when Steph's contract ends. In the comments, y'all talk about it all the time. You don't like what Steve Kerr does as a coach. As a human being coach, player coach, great. We talk about it a lot. He's a great player. He's a great coach to play for. But X's and O's, you feel like he's falling behind. He's not able to make in-game adjustments the way he used to. And the biggest thing you all talk about as well, he's not good at playing the young players. They need reps to develop. Kuminga got the reps, and we saw when he started midseason how much better he got. Moody, when he got his time, he played well, but wasn't playing enough. How many of the young players didn't get enough playing time and left? A lot of people talk about Wiseman. Yes, that was in the year when we won the championship, but they didn't give him time to develop into the player he is. And I see a lot of people say, let's bring him back. Big man, knows the system, can be backup center for us and help out. Warriors, of course, hired Steve Kerr in 2014 to succeed Mark Jackson. In his first year with the team, took him back to the NBA Finals for the first time in 40 years, won first of 4 championships. The team was called old after KD left. Clay got hurt, but nope, they came back and won that championship in 2022. So let's talk about his legacy as a Warrior coach right now. Obviously still building, but look at this. Since he became head coach and a couple years before that, so this includes 1 year with Mark Jackson, the Warriors have the most playoff wins, 108. Steph, Dre, and Clay have 99 playoff wins, 1 away from triple digits. And that's all of them together playing. So basically, they make up 90% of this. 4 championships. Nobody else is even close. Heat with 2 championships, 1 win away. Celtics, they got to get that title. It's something that the city is craving. They're so close. Obviously, they do have a title when they won, but that was before 2010. It was 2008, I want to say, when you had Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce, Ray Allen. Spurs with 1 championship, Cavs, OKC. Surprisingly, obviously, most of the decade they weren't good. But when they had KD, Harden, and Westbrook, they were winning a lot of games. And then Lakers with 2 titles, 1 in the bubble, you count that. Let me show you this. This is a really cool stat. NBA, MLB, and NFL teams equivalent based on winning percentage in the last 10 years. Warriors, the best team in the NBA. And this is regular season. Baseball, Dodgers, they have 1 title. Chiefs, football, and we know how many titles they got. They now have 3. When you look at the past 10 years, out of the 3 of the 4 major sports, the Warriors are the winningest franchise in the past 10 years in terms of regular season, and you throw in titles. Second, you have Houston, Celtics, Patriots, so 2 Boston teams right there. Third, Yankees and the Clippers, Steelers. Fourth, Guardians, Bucks, Packers. Fifth, Cardinals, Raptors, Seahawks, and then you can go down and see the teams. Not just in the postseason, you got 4 titles. We look at the regular season, the Warriors are absolutely killing it as well. When we look at the regular season, Warriors have 519 wins. Next closest is the Celtics, Only 2 teams with over 500 wins the past 10 seasons. When you do 519 divided by 10, average of 51 wins per season. Obviously, we had a lot of 60-win seasons, the 70-win season, and then some duds. 2020, 2021 season when Clay was hurt, KD left, Steph got hurt most of the season. We basically had 20 wins. We've been around that 40, 45 mark the past couple seasons, brought this down. But when you look at the first half of that decade of the past 10 seasons, up there 50 plus, easily 60 plus season over season. Little brother Kings, sorry you all, third to last. So Kerr has done an amazing job as a coach. When you look at the longevity, what he's done over 10 years, there's no denying he's a legend. He's going to go into the NBA Hall of Fame as a coach. Only thing he's missing from his coaching legacy is an Olympic ring, and that's what he may get. He's learned under Phil Jackson. He learned under Greg Popovich. He's made the NBA his own, and he's a winning coach, one of the winningest coaches of all time. But that is in the past. Looking forward, he says, maybe my time is up in 2 years when my contract is up. Maybe that's when it's time to move on from me, time for the Warriors to move on, new blood, new ideas. But not right now. Because we're still bringing on a whole group of young players who are doing really well. I'm loving my job every day. I love coming into this building every day. What's not to love about the Bay? So I can't wait for the next season with the Warriors. And the young players he talked about. Santos, does he get more playing time next season? Quinones is a free agent. Did they bring him back? We saw he shot really well. Garuba, very bottom, 22. Supposed to be someone like a Draymond, and they called him up at the end of the season. Does he get more playing time next season? They re-sign him. Brandon, we know what he did last season. Moody, we know what he can do when he plays. Kuminga, GP2, not the youngest player, 31 now. Looney's 28 still. Wiggins is under 30. And of course, Trace Jackson Davis, 24. So a lot of young players there with the mix. And as a coach, it helps revitalize you. And I know, again, the criticism, is he playing the young players enough? A lot of you out there say he's not. And, you know, he made 10 to the degree, and he talks about some of his quotes and interviews. How do you blend the new with the old in winning now? They tried to do that, and it didn't work, and it fell in their face. And that's why they had to go make the Wiggins trade. That's why Jordan Poole's kind of gone as well. Him and Draymond didn't do well together, and they stayed with the old versus the new. The interview ends with Steve Kerr saying, I can tell you one thing. It will be very amicable, a parting of the ways, whenever that happens. Basically what he's saying, when it's over, no funny business, no hatred, all love. We're going to move on. Class act organization, class act coach, and we're going to shake hands and say, we did what we did, and time to move forward. And I love that. And that's nothing less than I expect saying from Steve Kerr. He always says and does the right things. Maybe he doesn't do the right things that you think on the court, but in terms of being a human being, a person, a leader of men, a leader of an organization, I love it. I want him here for another 2 years. He may crucify me in the comments. I want him to end his career as a coach with Steph. Hopefully, you know, Clay's there, if the money's right. Hopefully, Draymond's still there. None of those off issues, and we can get 3-and-D players. Smarter players aren't turning the ball over as much because we average like 14 a game. It's way too much. And we get some size. We've talked about many of that on other videos on this channel. Go take a look. Steve Kerr interview, dissected. Comment your thoughts. Of course, please subscribe so you don't miss anything on Warriors Digest Daily. Out.